So, 2025, November, Amazon have a big Firestick crackdown, and we're going to try and explain it here briefly. It's quite a big story, and there's quite a few facets to it, so I'll just give an overview in this video, so we can see what the major changes that will affect Fire TV users, both existing and new ones. And find out why those dodgy Fire Sticks that everybody loves so much could be useless very soon. There's going to be a lot of sad people at my local hostelry, I can tell you. So, what's the news? Early November 2025, Amazon have rolled out significant updates targeting different aspects of their Fire Stick. So, the big news, I suppose, is their new hardware release. So, they've got a new version of the Fire TV Stick called Fire TV Stick 4K Select. With a new operating system called Vega OS. This is a Linux-based system, replacing an Android-based Fire OS, which is on all the other Fire Sticks. Sideloading will be blocked, so this is manual installation of any application that is outside Amazon App Store. Is going to be restricted completely, I think. That's going to mean any apps that Amazon don't approve will be restricted, so you won't be able to install or anything outside the App Store, or they'll be blocked. The official rationale is Amazon cites a crackdown on unlicensed streaming, malware protection, and content rights enforcement. When it's talking about sideloading blocked, there is only one reason for this, and it's because of this. Amazon Fire Sticks are used for over half of the pirated material streamed on all devices. As you probably know, you can get these Fire Sticks pre-set up, which connect to IPTV broadcasting servers where you pay peanuts and you get $150 or £120, whatever, premium streaming services. So you can access everything on these, pay-per-view and boxing and Premier League football, and they cost peanuts, obviously. Some people are not very happy about that. Sky have urged Amazon to block Fire TV sideloading. That was a story from the beginning of this year, and it looks like it's coming true. So if you've got one of these Fire Sticks to stream movies and sports and stuff, you may have an upsetting update hitting you very soon. So why now? What's behind it? Well, piracy and illegal IPTV concerns are the main driver here. Amazon have been put under a lot of pressure from some very big organizations who are unhappy that their device is being used as such a huge source of streaming TV. There's the rights holders like broadcasters, Sports League, Sky TV, as we mentioned before. They want better enforcement. UK's FACT are leading the charge in the UK, and an organisation called ACE in the USA, which are a big consortium. I forget what it stands for, but it's got likes of MGM, Disney, all the big media broadcasters who are involved in this, are pressurising Amazon from that side. And of course, it's instigating platform control and security. Now, Amazon are saying sideloaded apps bring malware, spam, and fraud risks, which they do to a certain extent, but then again, what doesn't nowadays? And they're saying a tighter ecosystem, and here's the killer word, control, improves quality and compliance. They just want to control everything on these devices and what we can do with them and what we stream for them, and basically what we have to pay for. So remember that Amazon, all these content licenses are very important to Amazon as well. They are a broadcaster as well with Amazon Prime. So it's part security, not much I guess. They've never really been bothered that much about security before. Mostly content rights enforcement and business strategy. So what does it mean for users? Well, if you've got an older device, it's probably working for now. It probably can still sideload apps. They might work for, who knows, it might work for a while. I would be amazed if they didn't get updated, though. You can turn off automatic updates on these things, but they can also ignore that setting as well. Most of the changes now are currently targeted at the new Vega OS, so Basically, they're completely useless for being a sort of dodgy jailbreak Firestick. Will old ones still work? I think their days are numbered, but perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps it's harder to update these. I think you'll probably suddenly find an application not working. The Vega OS devices, of course, they're nice and shiny and new and 4K, but there are stronger restrictions in force. There's no sideloading capability, and all streaming apps will be blocked or unavailable unless you go through the official channels. Big debate here. It might only be a Firestick. I'm very upset about this. I don't like the way this is going. I've never had one of these dodgy Firesticks, so it doesn't really bother me directly, but it's just the whole control thing that's worrying me. And the streaming freedom. The internet didn't used to be like this. So it's user freedom versus platform control. Guess who's going to win? Platform control. It's moving from an open, sideloaded, friendly Android to a lockdown ecosystem where flexibility is sacrificed for security and profit. I'll add there. There'll be privacy concerns. There's allegedly some restrictions on VPN access, but I don't know if they would do that, although VPNs are obviously used. I have used a VPN on a Firestick to switch Netflix to the US version when I want to watch a certain thing, so maybe that's going to be a problem. There were rumours of the VPNs being blocked, but I don't think that's true, because I also saw an announcement that NordVPN have just released a version for the Vega OS, so both can't be true. I suspect VPNs are okay on there. Whether they'll tweak something that they don't work with streaming services, I don't know. So a big issue for cord cutters who want to stream stuff offline and out of the major channels. So the DIY streaming community will probably abandon Firesticks. I mean, there are lots of other options. Let's not get too apocalyptical about this. There are Android TV boxes and loads of dodgy Firestick clones available from China, I would think. So it touches platform clock-in, user privacy, regional access and regulatory pressures. It's all rolled into one. So what should you do? Well, you can check your device versions. Usually can't do much with these. If you're running an older Android-based Fire OS or your new Vega OS, if you've got one of the new ones, it will affect your options significantly. The Vega OS ones for jailbreaking are toast. They really are. The older ones, who knows what will happen. My guess is they get updated and they don't work. Look at, if it's important to you, look at alternative hardware. There's Android TV boxes. Google TV is much more open. And if you want the maximum flexibility and sideload, you need sideloading for this. Otherwise, you're just controlled by a central app store and you can only get what they give you. Monitor updates closely. This could change. There'll be little snippets coming in over the next days. I will try and cover them here. So subscribing to my channel is obviously a good way of monitoring updates, but there's probably more professional versions as well. And that's really it. You know, as content creators, we'll hopefully keep covering this. Will UK users abroad watch UK content? How will US users be affected? And are these VPN restrictions real or true? So what's next? Key watch points. Will the restrictions attend? I think so. The older Fire TV devices, I think, will get updated, whether you say they can or not. How will IPTV providers respond? There's a big industry, this, and big money. And they go to... Some of the bigger providers spend a lot of money on infrastructure to produce this anonymous infrastructure that can deliver these systems. I mean, these rebroadcasters are, as I say, I've said big business again. But what will they do? With the usual cat and mouse again could ensue. So they probably just switch to Chinese Firesticks, I guess. Legal and regulatory implications, well, they probably got rights on their sides, really. The broadcasters and sports rights owners are watching closely, and we could find more devices locked down to combat piracy. And user migration, will users migrate? I think yes. Probably Raspberry Pi setups might be a good new option, really. So it isn't a minor device update. It could signal a broader shift in how streaming hardware and rights holders interact. So join the conversation. What do you think? Do you use a Firestick for sideloading apps or VPNs? Has your experience changed recently? Is it still working? If you're using a VPN on a Fire device to sort of bypass, to switch content from your Netflix to US Netflix or stuff like that, have you encountered any problems? I mean, this has only happened the beginning of November, so it will be quite recent. I think most of our updates on older ones are down the line, to be honest. Would you consider switching to an alternative? I would have thought it's very obvious people were going to, but perhaps you won't. So drop your comments below. We'll be reading them, and it always gives us great content for follow-up videos if you got some feedback. So anyway, stay smart, stay streamed, and stay secure. I hope you found this helpful. And have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.